那我们今天这一场的线上说明会，我们就先谢谢大家的参加。那稍后呢，我们在讲座进行的同时，如果同学们或是家长们有想要询问的问题，可以打在留言那个一个通讯的那个小框框里面，或者是传私讯给我们也没有问题。那待会我们会由我们的 Mick 学校代表来跟大家说明今天的 Camps 的今天 Camps 的资讯。那如果说大家有什么中途临时想到的问题，想要直接发问的话，也没有问题。好 ，Okay, so Mick, now's your time. Please say hi to our students and parents.
Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. I don't know if you can see me or if you can see my slide, but I would just like to say I hope you're all doing very well today. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday. And it's a real pleasure to be connecting with all of you online. I consider myself very lucky to work with such, programs like the one that we're presenting to you today. But I think sometimes in trying to explain what we do and the philosophy behind our programs, it's always good to give you a little bit more information and background about who I am and who we are and why we do what we do. So first things first, I'd just like to give you a little brief overview about myself before I jump right into this program. But again, a big thank you to Wise Wanderers today for having us and giving us the opportunity to present to your students and to the parents. So everyone, I'd like to officially introduce you to who I am. My name is Nick Moore, and I am from Canada and Thailand. I'm the global director of our groups and juniors programs for the Homes Education Group. I was born in Bangkok, Thailand, and my parents were Canadian diplomats. So I had the special privilege of growing up in Thailand, Canada, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Italy, and Tanzania. Growing up as a third culture kid and studying at international schools around the world, I was really fortunate to have the opportunity to study and learn from my peers who themselves also came from a diverse and rich cultural background. I think in this context, this type of experience for me was really effective in helping me, understand the complexities of the world around us. Equally important, I think that my teachers played a very important role in my relationship with education. So I really give them a lot of credit for helping me foster an open mind, developing future-ready skills, encouraging me to be inquisitive, and finally empowering me to be confident in the knowledge I gained while recognizing the importance of learning through the lens of a global citizen. And so I think it is in that context that I'd like to introduce you guys to our Soul Camps programs. So Soul Camps International, we're more than just a summer camp program. What we strive to make sure students do at their program is that they learn it and that they live it. We've had over 3,000, 4,000 students with us since we started, actually far more than that. I think we're close to 10,000 students at this stage, but we originated in Toronto in 1996. The Homes Education Group is our parent company. This is who we are a part of. And as you'll see here, there's a lot of different brands and a lot of different products. And I always think this is important to put into perspective the group that we at Soul Camps are a part of. As you can see here, we have been around for quite a long time. The company was founded in 1963, and we started in Australia with Homes Institute, which is our higher education brand. We offer bachelor's degrees and master's degrees in a variety of faculties, everything from business to aviation to early childhood education. Then we also have our language school for adults. That's called OHC, Oxford House College. We've got 13 schools around the world in 5 different countries. And this is for students who want to come and improve their English, prepare for tests, or focus specifically on developing different core skills. Then we have Soul Camps, which today I'm very excited to speak to you about. But we have one more brand in our group that I think is really important for all of you to know, and that's our Teaching House brand. We are the largest teacher training program in the world for CELTA. And this ensures that our teachers at OHC and at Sol camps are the cream of the crop. They are our top graduates. They come from diverse backgrounds themselves, but they are all CELTA qualified teachers. And I think this is going to be one of the key points of the learning or the academic component of our courses. So when you come to study with Sol camps, you know, we always want to make sure that you're coming to learn, that you're coming to have fun, and that you're coming to make friends. So we really strive to create a welcoming, safe, and enriching environment where you're going to be challenged in the classroom. And we're very confident that you're going to make friends that last well beyond the summer abroad. I think that our camps provide the best quality service at all levels by ensuring we have the right people for the right role. And again, that means our highly qualified CELTA teachers providing engaging lessons in the classroom, while it also means having exciting, dynamic, outgoing camp counselors for all the activities and social programs that we do. And then finally, making sure that we've got the right team on hand to ensure that the students at night are supervised, that they're being monitored, and that they're being woken up on time for their breakfast and classes every single day. So let's jump into our different locations. All right, so in 2026, we will be offering our camps in the UK, in Canada, and the United States. We'll be based out of UCL in London, Oxford Brookes in Oxford, the University of Toronto in Toronto, and Iona University in New York City. So let's quickly jump in and look at what these university facilities might look like and why they might be of interest to you. When coming to study at Sol camps, as I may have mentioned at the beginning, you have a very immersive experience. But not only is our course a fantastic program for students to participate in, we work and partner with some of the top ranked universities around the world. So first off, I'll introduce you to UCL, University College London, ranked 9th in the world. This is where we have our students live, eat, and study when they're with us at Sol camps. So you'll be enjoying residences at their Ramsey Hall building. You'll be enjoying the classroom facilities in Tottenham Court building, and you'll be having meals in both the main campus and Ramsey Hall throughout your experience. Next, we have the University of Toronto. This is the top ranked university in Canada, and I think it is ranked it's in the top 20 around the world as well. So another prestigious institution where you're going to be able to feel like a university student, get a taste of what it's like to study abroad, truly in facilities that university students would be studying in as well. Again, you eat, you live, and you study here on this campus. It's a beautiful campus, and if we've got time, we can jump into showing you some of our campus tour videos. But if not, I'll make sure you've got that YouTube link, so that way you can view those on your own time. My next location is Oxford Brookes University. Now, this is not the University of Oxford, but that's not a bad thing. At Oxford Brookes University, this is a school designed and focused around modern type programs like business, AI, development, and the facilities really reflect this. Our students are going to benefit from having the most modern university facilities in all of Oxford, and that includes the University of Oxford. Our classes will be in the Headington Hill building. As you can see here, you'll be able to walk past this Formula One car every single day for classes and have your lessons up here on the 2nd and 3rd floors. You'll be able to have your meals in a beautiful cafeteria, and our residences are brand new, single room, ensuite rooms as well. But Oxford is the academic center of the world. So I do believe this is not only an exciting destination to visit, but it's an inspiring one as well. Finally, we've got Iona University. Now, Iona University is, again, one of the top ranked universities in the world, definitely in the top 100. And we're really lucky to be the only camp that takes place at Iona University. So our students benefit from having their residences, their meals, their classes all on the site. We also benefit from having access to their beautiful sports facilities, like pools, basketball courts, their gym. So these are things that students can enjoy and experience when they're there on the weekends. But this is a beautiful campus with beautiful homes surrounding it. So it's in a very safe neighborhood. Nothing to be worried about when looking at New York as a destination. If anything, you'll be very safe and very comfortable here. And we've had a fantastic experience welcoming students to New York for the last 10 years. So let's jump into some more parts about the Sol Camps program. And I think, one of the biggest things to say is, who said learning wasn't fun? At our programs, students are tested and placed into appropriate levels prior to arriving. So we provide you with your placement tests. This allows us to ensure that you will know which program you'll sign up for. And I'll jump into this later on in the presentation, but we've got 4 unique programs. Now, all of our teachers, as I mentioned at the beginning, are CELTA certified. This is key because CELTA certified teachers have a much more experienced and much better developed classroom practice. They've got effective teaching methodologies, and we believe that the teaching styles really complement the type of programs we're trying to provide in the mornings for our students. We've got small class sizes. You study 20 hours per week, 20 lessons per week. And again, we just want to make sure that all of the students, when they're on campus, are safe and supervised. So, as I mentioned, we have 4 different programs that we're really excited to tell you about today. For students that are learning English, we've got our Adventure English program. This is the traditional program that we've been delivering since 1996. And I think the experience that we deliver is second to none. In class, every student will have their own textbook. This textbook has been designed to ensure that what you're learning in the classroom directly connects to the experiences you're having in the afternoons and evenings or during that week. And we think this is really important because we don't believe the learning stops in the classroom. We believe that it's complemented in the classroom, but outside in the real world is where you're really going to be able to utilize that language. Connecting with your friends from around the world is where you're going to be able to practice. Speaking with locals during different projects is where you're going to be put into, difficult or challenging or uncomfortable situations, but situations that are necessary for you to use the languages and build that confidence. So that's our Adventure English program. And as you can see here, whatever the students are learning, it will be focused on their level, but also the destination that they're studying in. So if you can see this picture up here, you guys might know who this guy is. His name is Drake. He happens to be from Toronto, the city I come from, or as he likes to call it, the 6. So in this lesson, we are teaching our students about how the 6 in Toronto got its nickname. We're talking about Drake's rise to fame and his own journey. But as you can see here, this is a Toronto-focused lesson at the Toronto camp. This lesson wouldn't be the same in New York, London, or Oxford. So I think this is a very key point. Our textbooks are relevant for the city that you're going to be traveling to. So when it comes to slangs and idioms, you're going to be learning Canadian slang and idioms in Toronto. You'll be learning British expressions, slang, idioms in the UK, and likewise in the US. Because it's important for us to ensure that when you travel to a destination, you're not just in the classroom being taught by a teacher any ordinary lesson, that you are having your experience shaped by learning about the culture, and that you're learning about the language through culture. Now, for students who have a high level of English, we're providing something called the Discover Challenge. This is if your parents still feel that you've got some development and some, final tweaks and touches that you need to improve your language. But what we do in this program is a little bit different than, it's very different than the Adventure English program. So in Adventure English, we use a dynamic textbook. In the Discover Challenge, we use dynamic task-based projects. We do things like creating and planning. We focus on problem solving, and we give students, English with a purpose. So themes will include the city is my classroom. So Toronto is my classroom, or New York City is my classroom. They'll include I am human, the future is bright, and then finally the soul group debates, which we think is one of the best ways for you to use your language and improve your confidence. So the Discover Challenge is an option if you have a higher level of English, but you're not looking for that basic general English type of program or experience. And then finally, we have two more programs. One is called Business Leadership. At all of our different camp locations, Business Leadership will run for the first portion of the camp. And in this, you get to explore foundations of business. You'll learn about SWOT analysis versus STORE analysis. You'll learn about case studies, marketing, how business in a modern world is impacted. So we take directly from some of our own higher ed programs to help shape and inform this curriculum in the business leadership program. And then for the second half of the program, again, at all camps, we do the AI and app design program. So in this, you're going to get a taste of AI, which I'm sure most of you already have somewhat of an experience with. But in this program, you're going to get to learn a lot more about the theory. You're going to know about ethics of AI use, the tools, the benefits, the power of AI, and then you're going to be developing and designing your own app with a unique opportunity to test it amongst your peers. So we're very excited for those. If afterwards you've got questions about more details, we can show you some of the themes of the different programs. Now, before I jump into telling you about these different types of programs, this is where I want to circle back to my experiences as an international student going to IB programs around the world. Again, it was, who said learning wasn't fun? And why was learning limited to the classroom? So it was these types of core questions that challenged me to work with our team to develop an exciting and engaging education experience for our students. And soon I found myself taking my own experiences as an international student and applying them to the Soul Camps program. So these developed the principles that would guide our ethos of learning, our ethos of adventure, and our philosophy that personal growth is an amazing outcome of a program like Soul Camps. So as you can see here, we've got activities like the lemonade stand, or the Dragon's Den challenge, or the amazing race. So you might be asking, what are these different activities? Well, let me start with the lemonade stand. This is one of our most popular projects globally, and it's focused on social responsibility. So what we do is we turn this event into a fun, hands-on way for students in their groups to learn about entrepreneurship and raise funds for a good cause, all while engaging with the local community. It's an exciting and effective way that students, we believe, will cherish. Depending on the city or the camp that you choose, students will learn about a charity or about a children's hospital that they will be working to raise funds for. And the students will learn about these organizations, so that way they understand the big picture. And so that way they're encouraged to put their best foot forward. Now, we give the students a budget, and then their task of determining how best to allocate this budget towards supplies and materials to make and to promote, and then, inevitably, and with the goal of selling lemonade. So students will be focusing on planning and logistics. They'll be introduced to concepts of financial literacy. You talk about costs, you talk about profits, you talk about your donations. They'll be encouraged to promote team cooperation and work together to make the product while delegating and assigning different roles within the team. They'll prepare their market stand. They'll engage with the community. And we believe the outcome of this is not only raising funds for a good cause, but developing confidence in public speaking and interactions. You'll be surprised, but last year, in just 3 hours in Toronto, our students went out into the city, each with $50 a head, given to them as a budget. They went to the grocery stores, they planned, they designed their recipes for lemonade, bought their cups, made their posters, engaged the locals, and in 3 hours raised over $3,000 for the Sick Kids Hospital, which is the #1 hospital in Canada for children and the top 2 hospitals for children in the world. So I think a very important and powerful experience, particularly because the students got to go to the Sick Kids Hospital, meet with the doctors and some of the team, and donate and present this money with them and get a nice photo showing that they appreciated the students' efforts. Now we've got another fun activity here called the Dragon's Den. Has anyone ever heard of the Dragon's Den or Shark Tank TV show? If you have, then you'll maybe have an idea of what this program is about. This is a great opportunity for students to come up with a product focused on sustainability and the climate. They need to then get together to present this product to our staff in front of all the students. Our staff, who will be the judges, will determine which presentation and which product is the best. They will challenge the students during their presentations if things sound unrealistic. So this is grounded and rooted in a bit of a more real life scenario. But the winning team will get a great award. And again, there's a lot of learning outcomes that we believe can come from fun projects or activities like this. And then finally, we have something here called The Amazing Race. Now, The Amazing Race, again, is based on a TV show that may or may not be popular in Taiwan, but I'm sure your parents have heard of it. This was a team competition where pairs of individuals ran around or went around the world, not knowing the next destination they had until they completed, challenges or solved clues and riddles. So what we do is we provide our students with a chance to explore Toronto, explore New York, explore London, or explore Oxford, all supervised, of course, by our team, but in teams where they basically, instead of getting a walking tour or a bus tour, they will have to determine where they're going from place to place. And we think that this is, an important way for them to navigate through cultural, historic, and modern landmarks in a new city, competing with each other, obviously, to be the first team to reach the final destination. It's an educational and adventurous program that's designed for building teamwork while providing a creative and fun way to explore a new city. And in this activity, we believe students receive an exciting orientation and familiarization of a new city. We believe that it fosters teamwork and problem-solving skills, that it gives them experience with communication with locals, that they learn about and appreciate the culture of this new city that they're in, and finally, that they gain confidence navigating urban spaces. So those are some of the fun activities that we do in our program. Here's a few other fun activities as well. Again, trivia night is just a fun way in the evening to do something low energy on site. Always awards and prizes for our students who win. We have the cardboard boat challenge, again, which is another opportunity for students to work together in teams. And finally, treetop trekking and canoeing, which are activities we will try to do in every one of our cities, but fun, different types of adventurous programs. Here's some photos from some of our different students' experiences. And here is a video. So again, if you're not convinced by that video and the fun that those kids are having, let me tell you a few more things about our schedule that hopefully will continue to explain why I think we're one of the best programs. So at all of our camps, the overnight program includes classes just Monday to Thursday. That's right, students. You heard me loud and clear. You don't have classes Monday to Friday, only Monday to Thursday. You still have your 15 hours or 20 lessons in that period. But the reason why we do this is because we want to make sure that you have 3 days where you can have fun as well, because this is your summer after all, and we don't want your time to be completely cooped up in the classroom. So every day we meet for breakfast, and then we have our morning assemblies at 8:45. From there, you get broken up into your classrooms, you hear our morning announcements, and you all leave with your teachers to your respective classrooms, and you start your classes at 9 a.m. Then after classes are done, you've got your lunch, followed by your afternoon activities, which could be some of those fun, unique types of programs that I described to you earlier, or some of our popular visits to famous sites and landmarks in each respective city. After that, you come back for dinner, which is almost always on campus. And after dinner, we will have our night activities, which can range again from on-site to off-campus activities before returning for lights out and residence check-ins. On Fridays and Saturdays, you have full-day excursions, and these range depending on the destination that you're going to study in. But these are a great way for you to see more of just the city, but its surrounding locations and some of the famous must-see places and destinations. Finally, we've got Sunday, which is a different type of day. It's a clubs day. So you get to sleep in a little bit in the morning, and then you have a brunch. And after your brunch, you will be joining your first club of the day. And there's a number of different clubs for you to join. And then you will, afterwards, after you have a small snack, join your second club of the day. So I think that will be a very fun way to just make sure that over the course and structure of our week, students are always having a good balance of the academic experience while being engaged and then still having opportunities to take a breather. At our school, you've got 24-hour supervision. For children's programs where we offer them, it's a 1-to-10 ratio, 1 staff to 10 students. For the teenage programs, it's 1-to-15. It's always important to try to see what the facilities of each of these programs or destinations might look like. So here's some photos briefly of London, where you have single rooms with shared bathrooms. Oxford, we have single rooms with ensuite bathrooms. Toronto, where you have the option of single or twin rooms, all with shared bathrooms. And then New York City, where you've got your twin or your triple rooms in shared apartments that have private bathrooms. Again, this will all be in our brochure, and if you're interested in our program, you can follow up with Wise Wanderers, and they'll give you a lot more of that information. Our meals on campus at all locations are buffet, so you've got healthy options, you've got fun options, desserts, salads, fruit, a lot of good food. I'm still trying to lose weight. I think the reason why I get fatter every year is because I work at this camp. In terms of the transportation, depending again on the activity, at all locations we have a range. We do sometimes public transit, sometimes we have our private coaches, sometimes activities are close enough that our students can walk, so it's a real range. In terms of nationality mix, this is just an example of last year. Every year we're changing, so this is just a good way for you to see here who we had in our program in the past. But you can see that it's a diverse nationality mix. And finally, just in case you were interested in the dates, these are the different dates for the programs. So in London and in Oxford, we start on the 28th of June, ending on the 2nd and the 9th respectively. And then in Toronto and New York, we have the same dates, which is the 5th of July till the 9th of August. So again, I think some of the key points that I wanted to focus on here were that Sol Camps, we strive to really create that welcoming, that safe, and that enriching environment where students from around the world will be challenged. They're going to be encouraged, and we believe that they're going to gain a lot of confidence. Before I leave you, and before we jump over to our questions, I'd like to share 2 quotes that I think are very important for me, and make me want to be the educator and do the best that I can for your students and our students. The first is from Nelson Mandela. He once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." And I couldn't agree more, as education has had the ability to transform individuals and societies. And again, I feel in my own localized world, my own experience through education has allowed me to change and hopefully improve for the best the lives of all the students who've come through our programs. And then finally, probably my favorite quote is by Sidney J. Harris, who was a journalist in Chicago in the 1950s and 60s. And she said, "The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows." So essentially, instead of looking at the world as a reflection of yourself and your own perspective being bounced back, education will clear up the spaces to see past oneself as if you were looking through a window. So I just wanted to say one more time to the Wise Wanderer team, thank you. To all of you, a big thank you for joining us today on a Saturday. It's really been my pleasure to talk to you about my own experiences, what has led me to help design the programs at Sol Camps the way we have. But I hope, and I'm sure, you've got a number of questions. So my colleague Po and I will do our best to try and answer everything here for you now.
Okay. Thank you, Nick, for the fantastic presentation. And the host and I will help you to translate some questions to you. Okay, thank you. Host, do you have any questions from your side? Because I already answered some of the question in Mandarin and English.
Yeah, and I think they have some questions here, right? Just jump to the text box. Will my child share a room with others? Can be single room?
That is a great question.
That is the question from Rudy. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just answer that quickly. The way to answer that is depending on the location that they come. Some of our programs have double rooms. So those double rooms mean that they would be sharing with a student from their group or another student at the camp. Some of our programs have single rooms where they just have their own private space. So it really depends on the destination that you are coming to.
I think, okay, and there's a follow-up questions is, are there security measures or access control? I think that is for the accommodations, right? Probably.
Yes. So I'm happy to announce that we have very strict training for our team prior to joining the program. And when it comes to the safety of students, we do not cut corners. Our staff are police background checked, first aid certified, and we help ensure that the students in the residence are being supervised. But the universities have teams that peruse and walk around the parameters at night, especially during the quiet hours, to help ensure that students are safe and that the campus is protected. So we do take a number of measures like that in terms of the accommodations. The other measures that we take outside of residence, and I think this is equally important, is the ratios that we have when we're going on activities. So as I mentioned to you, in a teenage program or a children's program, the ratio will be 1 to 15 or 1 to 10. Now, when we go off of the campus, students are all being communicated to through WhatsApp, because we have every student join our localized Sol Camps chat. This gives them the details of the day. It makes sure that if they didn't catch or if they forgot where we were meeting at what time, everything is listed very clearly in the chat for every activity that we do off campus. And every student must be wearing their lanyards, which contains our emergency contact details and our campus address. Now, once our staff have given students direction and we embark on our activity, we ensure that the groups are going in 2 groups. So I'll explain that further. Instead of having one of our staff with 15 students, we have 2 staff with the 30 students. So one staff is at the front, one staff is at the back. And this is how we're traveling from place to place. And we do this because if in the event of an emergency, something happened to a student, we would want to ensure that one of the staff members could tend to that student, while the other staff member could ensure the safety or continuing on to the destination for the rest of the students. So it's always good to have a buddy system with our own staff and our own teams, but we also encourage the buddy system with our students. So those are some of the different ways that we ensure safety, which we believe is paramount to the structure of our program, is carried out at different levels and different parts of the camp.
And for the accommodation, I will add something. For people who attend UK's camp, they'll all stay in single room. And for people who go to Canada, they will stay either single room or twin room. And for people who go to US, they stay in either triple or quadruple room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically it depends on the locations and the age. Am I right? And also for the safety, so our parents can be very, I can say, no need to worry about the safety issues, because I think the camps care about the children's safety, so they would be very good. Don't be afraid, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And as Fifi says, if their child is vegan, it's okay to join the camp.
Yeah, great question. So one of the fantastic things about working with these university partners is that their meal teams are able to accommodate almost all of our dietary requirements from our students. Vegan, absolutely, we'd be able to accommodate. No issues there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, okay, so Fifi, don't worry. 你的小孩可以参加，所以吃素的没有问题。Okay. And think there's one more question is about it's from Vicky. More photo could share accommodation. Okay, I think that is about like accommodations photo. Probably Paul or Mike, you can share videos or photo with us again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So as a follow-up, Paul can send you a link to some of the photos and to our YouTube channel, where you'll be able to actually see the campus tour videos that definitely showcase the residences that we'll be staying in.
Perfect. So Vicky, after this session, then you can contact us. Then we can share this with you.
And there was one person asking for laundry.
Great question as well.
Oh, yes, from Ina, right.
So this also varies from city to city. In Toronto, we offer a wash and fold service once per week. So that means the students will have one designated day where they can bring their laundry down, and our team will wash and fold their clothes and provide them back to them for pickup. The clothes are washed individually, so students do not, have their clothes mixed together or anything like that. In New York, London, and Oxford, we provide students with the meal cards and the soap, so that way they can wash their clothes once per week themselves. So once per week, students will not have to worry about paying for their own laundry, but if they do wish to do their laundry more than once per week, they will be responsible for covering the cost of that.
Okay, and there's one question from Cliff. Okay, hi Cliff. Okay, okay, if I'm 17, which camp I can join?
Great question. Easy answer, any of them. Our camps all accept students up until 18 years old. So you could join any of the camps.
Perfect. Can you share some location with Cliff? I think Cliff just joined us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have camps in Toronto, Canada, in New York, United States, and in London and Oxford in the UK.
Perfect. So yeah, thank you, Cliff. Okay. Let me check if they have any questions from our students. Ratio. Yeah, you just mentioned the ratios. Okay. And okay, that is from the text box. And I do have some questions from our students directly. Okay. How is my child's language progress monitored? Oh, wow.
Wonderful question. So within a 2 or 3 week program, we believe that, and this is kind of at the focus and the core of our program delivery, we want to ensure that the students are going to benefit from a communicative approach type of curriculum. We can provide throughout the week tests every week. And if you have any requests for progress reports, we can do this case by case as well. Some parents, if I'm being very frank here, just want their students to come or their children to come and enjoy a program. And at the very end, they'll see their certificate. The easiest way to see the progress is you're placed into a level based on the free test, pre-arrival test that you do. When you graduate, you have your level of graduation and completion on your certificate. Oftentimes, you can see the improvement the students have made from arriving and the first test they took to when they depart. However, if you need a progress report for your students, this is something that our teachers can arrange without any issue. And it's just a case-by-case request.
Okay, thank you. And I think, okay, the Cliff has some questions. Okay, can we use your mobile when we join the camp? Oh, I think.
Good question. So you mean, can you use mobile phones at the camp? The student is asking this question, right? So in classrooms, we do ask our teachers to collect students' phones. However, there are some very interactive types of exercises where we will have our teachers provide, don't worry, Cliff, you'll have your phone when you need it outside of the classroom for your activities, when you're in residence, all of that. But sometimes there's some activities in the class that require use of the phone, or we ask to participate using a certain app, an online app. But it's just 3.5 hours per day, or 3.5 hours per day that students will not have their phones when they're in the classroom. But Cliff, you'll be happy to know we have a break in between those lessons. So you can come back in and check any messages you might be waiting on before you're done. That's great.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. So no worries, Cliff. Okay, and he said, have Wi-Fi? I think so. You do have a Wi-Fi, right?
Yes. All campuses are equipped with Wi-Fi campus-wide. So you will definitely have Wi-Fi while you're with us.
Perfect. Okay, so I think you'll be fine, Cliff. You will survive. Okay, and they have some questions from our parents. How many meals are provided each day?
Great question. 3 meals are provided Monday till Saturday. On Sundays, we provide brunch and dinner.
Okay, and that is all including in the fee,
Everything
right?
is, yeah. So our program is an all-inclusive program. Everything that you see that I presented today is included. There are no extra costs.
Perfect. And they have another questions from our parents. Can parents contact our child during the program or during the camp? Is possible if we want to contact with our child?
Yeah, absolutely. We would just ask parents to be mindful of the time that they're reaching out to their kids, particularly while they're in class. We do want to avoid that students and parents are communicating, and also being mindful of when our lights out policy is. So, not calling the kids at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. local time. But of course, parents can certainly be in touch with their kids while they're at camps.
Okay.
And if their kids are not replying to them, there's two things to remember. One, no news is good news. Your kids are having the time of their lives. But two, you can also reach our camp managers, who then can call and find their kids and say, your parents are trying to get a hold of you. Make sure you respond back to them. So yes, we'll always do our part to make sure that they're in touch.
Yeah, and parents will contact with us, and if they can find the chat, so no worries. Yeah. Okay, and the next question is, what is the including in total fee? I think you just mentioned, right? The meals, the programs, and activities.
Yeah.
And what else?
So basically, the way I always like to say it is, students could come to any of our camps with no spending money, and they would be fine. Of course, they might get upset at their parents for not having any spending money, but everything that's included in our all-inclusive package is health insurance for the duration of their study, two-way airport transfer, all of your Sol Camps merchandise, so your textbooks, your materials, your notebooks, t-shirts, hats, water bottles. We also include all of the meals, all of the tickets for afternoon, evening activities, and weekend excursions, all the transportation costs, your accommodation costs. Everything is included in the program.
Mm-hmm. And I think, is there have any possible additional cost?
Yes, a possible cost that could be additional would maybe mean if your students were traveling individually, not as part of a group, and the airline you were traveling on required an unaccompanied minor service, that would be an additional cost. Likewise, if your student or your child is traveling as an individual student to any of our camps, and they require a custodianship, which provides our team as a legal guardian, in some destinations, there is a cost for this service. In others, there aren't. So those might be some of the additional costs, but those are third-party required costs, as in the embassy might require that for your visa application, or the airline might require that for your flight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically that is all included.
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. And okay, is a refund available if my child cannot attend? I think that is one question from Phoebe's.
Yeah. So when it comes to the camps, we do have a non-refundable registration fee. It's not a significant amount, but this is because we do have to secure spaces, and we need to, whenever somebody books a program with us, that means one less bed available for our other clients. There are terms and conditions on our application forms that you can follow. If you have a visa rejection, you get a full refund less that registration fee. And that's, probably the most common reason why people don't come. If you had a student that wanted to come, but maybe unfortunately there was, an issue with, maybe there's a death in the family, that's where we would be a little bit more mindful of the scenario and the situation. And we'd present one of two options. One, either, again, providing a refund less the registration fee, or we would hold and honor that fee for a future program. So really, we believe we're pretty easy and pretty fair to work with when it comes to the refund policies. Of course, timing is also a major factor in the refund policy. Getting this information 30 days or more outside of your arrival is where you're always going to have access to that full refund. If you tell us within 30 days, within 15 days, within a week, the amounts that we hold are a little bit different, because it, in all fairness, becomes a little bit more difficult for us to fill the space that your cancellation would be leaving.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but
thank you.
All of these terms can be found on our application form or on our website.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So quite easy to get a refund.
Yeah, it's straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, perfect. And I think that is the last question from our parents. Okay, which location is easier to adapt for the first time summer camp student? Which one?
That is a good question.
Yeah, for the first time join.
Well, one of the things about Soul Camps is that we model the program so that way all of our camps are very similar in terms of structure and experiences. So if you're looking for a shorter flight as the determining factor, the UK might be great. But if you're looking for, variety of activities and the campus type of feel where students are gonna, be more comfortable, if you will, I would say Toronto and New York are great options. So really, it's a difficult question to answer. I think
it is.
Our team is very well trained to ensure that when the students arrive, no matter where they're going to be included, they're going to be engaged, and we're going to do our best to make sure they're having the summer of their lives. So yeah, I'm very confident in that. Any destination will be a good destination.
Okay, that is a very good. I like the answers because students can find a different experience from the different locations, and no matter which one they choose, they could definitely find a very fantastic summer camp, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay. I think that is all the question from Wise Wonders and Euromeet parents and students. So yeah. Okay.
Last but not least, we have a special offer to those who attend the session today. If you sign up before December 31st, we will give you 5% off discount.
5%.
Yeah, 5% off for anyone who wants to join our camps.
Oh, that is a great offer. Thank you so much. Yeah. I think okay, and you can send me the information you mentioned, and I will send to our parents and our students to share with them.
Yeah, no problem.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
thank you.
I just want to say again, thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you to the Wise Wanderer and Euromeet team. It was our pleasure to be here and to support you, and we look forward to working together, not just for next summer, but many summers to come.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. Hello.
Alright.
OK， 那 OK 那好，谢谢大家今天的参加。那我们今天的这一场说明会，我们就先到这边，谢谢大家，拜拜。
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.